So my name is Darcie, and I work with Robinson Wild Consulting, and alongside two of my colleagues, Esther and Caitlin, we're their heritage consultants for the three projects in Lincolnshire. So the first one, Alford Manor House, it dates to the 17th, early 17th century, and it's grade 2 star, so it's very culturally significant. It's got 19th century additions, and it was also altered in the 18th and 20th centuries. And it's a really great asset to the town and is on one of the main routes into Alford. So it forms quite a principal asset within the community, and it is supposedly the largest thatched house in the country, and it makes for quite an impressive landmark. It's thought to have been built by John Hopkinson, and it's had quite notable wealthy owners, such as the royalist Sir Robert Christopher in the mid 17th century, and he was really important to Alford, and he was a benefactor of the town and is buried in the parish church. So Spilsby Sessions House is a really interesting building. So it was built in 1827, following designs by Henry Edward Kendall as a house of correction with an accompanying purpose-built sessions house in which to hold the quarter sessions. So Kendall also designed a house of correction in Louth, Sleaford, and the jail in Spalding. So he had quite a lot of experience in building these types of buildings. So it's quite an imposing building. It's of the Greek Revival style, was built in an early form of radial design, which basically means it has a central hall as the observation centre, and then three corridors that radiate outwards, with each floor in a really open format, so everyone could be viewed. The prisoners that were sent there were vagrants accused of petty theft and poaching. So the site was a prison, and it had the prison associated buildings and the session house. And it closed in 1878, and some of the prison buildings were demolished in 1881. And then in the early 20th century, it was reused as a community space and was actually temporarily used as the Masons' Lodge in 1910. And then in 1984, it kind of went under a big alteration by Philip Stokes, who turned it into a theatre. So it was a 130-seat theatre, and the seating was actually arranged in the former jury and spectators area of the courtroom. And he incorporated a lot of old features, including the original cells, which were used as dressing rooms. So it's a really interesting history, and it was used for a theatre up until kind of fairly recently, and then it had to unfortunately close. So quite a diverse building. Windmill is again a really great asset in Alford, and it's located on East Street on the west side. And East Street is one of the main thoroughfares into the town, so it's viewed as people kind of leave Alford and come into Alford, so it's quite a big landmark. It's grade 1 listed, and it's got various buildings such as the millwright's cottage and bakehouse, which has its original Scotch oven, which they use for baking the bread, which is really amazing, and they are grade 2. So it was actually constructed in the early 19th century, and it's thought that the local millwright Sam Oxley built it. It's 6 stories, built of brick in the round tower style, and it shares a lot of similarities with the windmills of Lincolnshire. They all share kind of a design together. It has a painted ogee cap, which kind of looks like an onion shape at the top, and a fantail and sails. And it's actually got 5 sails, because in Lincolnshire, a lot of the windmills had at least more than 4. And the 5 sails mill design was actually first trialled in the late 18th century. So the mill played a really key role within the community. Alford was a really thriving agricultural community, and it played a key role in that. And it was associated with quite important families, such as the Hoyles family and the respected millwrights R. Thompson and Sons. And Alford actually used to have 4 windmills in the town, and the 5-sail mill is the only one that's left. So it's a really important reminder of the town's agricultural heritage.